Alrighty, I guess. And a little more to the right. I don't like where that's positioned, so there we go. I didn't like where the feet were. So just a hair closer to the action and not enough to really notice. Anyway, welcome to another live stream from Mason's Bowling Center, Leominster, Mass. And this is not the week that Chris and I play together. Typically every other Saturday he works. And then, of course, every other Saturday it's whether or not he's needed at work. So it's just me, myself, and I, which means 12 games unless something goes wrong. And which means the strike streak, which is standing at a whopping 1 session, has a better chance of living on. Because when I play with others, the strike streak dies more frequently because I'm either playing half or a quarter or a third of the games. Anyway, with that being said, is this crooked? It looks like it might be just a hair. There. Anyway, let's get going. It's showing nobody watching right now, but we know that changes. Oh, kind of need to point out, playing on lane number 3, which means we're on the how Masons used to be side of things, meaning this was nearly ridiculously impossible before the renovations. When it locks in, I have no idea what I'm doing. But we start with 8. Magnets. Yeah, once again, like I say, we're on the tough side. The first 4 lanes that nobody really wants to play on. Ten. Just like it used to be, the way no one really likes it. But we gotta wait for that wood to stop rolling, because if we shoot while it's rolling, it's an invalid throw. However, if it moved after we threw, but it was staying still when it was thrown, we'd be good. All right, ball 2. Another 10. I just wish I could walk in and keep it going. Niner. Got the Four Horsemen for 10. Boy, my work shoes really screw up my feet. My pinky toe on my left foot is giving me issues, but it's not hurting the game so far. Anyway, let's see if... Oh, didn't... Enough light that way. Got an 8. Got a 10. Another 10. Another 9. And a 37. And I'll just say this again. The little L stands for passing the low, which high single 148 done at Putnam Street, low 44 done here. And my high at this place is a 125 when it was really hard. So 47 so far. First credit frame of the day with a 6. Went for the easier 2, but got another one for Niner. I see stutter, so I know that YouTube's working. Not seeing any numbers for an audience. And again, around this time there usually isn't much of it. Now we have our first stink frame, courtesy of the magnets. That's a 4. Two frames to get 14. And the great collapse with a 6. Now we need a minimum of 8. Eked it in with a 9er. All right. Everything tanked from here, but we made it barely. 6, then a 9, then a 4, then a 6, then a 9, 81. Again, we're playing on the hardest side of Masons, the first 4 lanes, which when there's competitions and they use the first 4, they hate it. This is almost like how Masons used to be before the renovations. Alrighty, so let's get on game number 2 as an audience starts to fill in. This time the third ball leaves the 4 horsemen instead of the third ball taking them away. Start with a lovely 6. Looks like this game is already a throwaway unless we mark. magnets, the king still stands for 9. And a 10. Those are helpful numbers. So much for the spare. But if that wood stops in the right spot, we could possibly cap it and hope for the best. That is not the best spot. A little further left. Well, the renovations have been done here as well. It's just so unused. The dust and everything just makes the action more dead. That happens anywhere. In the woods where I don't want it to be. Let's see if we can do that. That's all I could have done. And because I went in the gutter, that's a 9. Halftime report. Things have got better. Oh, you can kind of see it. Lousy 6, then a lousy 5, and then it got better. A 9, a 10, and another 9. We are at a rebuildable 39. And nothing in the comments here. I try to respond to everybody who comments if I can. If I do not, it probably was a blip in the internet, because that has been known to happen. So no intentions of ignoring people. 39.5, which is rebuildable. 8s and 1 9 is all we need. Of course we blow it, and I mean, there was almost no room between the pin and the second ball. Still a 9. Alright, and Nate keeps it alive, barely. Barely keeping the game alive with another eight. Need 16 in the last two to hit bare minimum. And by that, you know what, since hardly anyone was here for game one, we'll go all over high lows and that whole average thing. Well, if anything can ruin it, there you go. That's a 7. Looks like this game might be dead. We need 9 at the least. It was on the plate, so that was good. We got our minimum. As I say, 5 years, and what do I have to show for it? Zilch. Anyway. Nine, 8, 8, 7, and then we squeaked it in with an 80 with that 9. And because almost nobody was here for game one, we'll get over this again. There it is. High single 148 done at Putnam's, low 44 done here. My highest here is a 125. And speaking of averages, as I was alluding to before the end of this game, according to Casual League records from the ICBA, we're talking casual fun leagues, most people average between 80 to 100, so if we can at least hit 80, good enough. Because that's kind of what I am, good enough. Although, when this whole pandemic crap and all these places that require you to mask up while bowling lift that stupid rule, because this is one of the places that allows you to do it unmasked, but you have to be masked in the main areas. We'll see how I really do. Although Putnam Street, because it's easy, it also screws you easy too. So just because a place is easy doesn't mean that it's going to go well. Hello, Taser. First comment of the day. Game number 3. So far, nothing spectacular, but at least we're surviving. putt 9. Another 10. So far, this is the best game, and unfortunately, that says very much nothing. Niner, and in order to hit the pin from the side closest to the gutter, the 7 or the 10, the ball has to actually be on the plate. So it's not possible here. I think Apex is the only place where it's possible to hit the 7 or 10 pin in the gutter. So that's something. And that 3 ruins the whole game. Actually, no, it didn't. It's keeping it barely average again. 9, 10, 10, 9. That 41. Alrighty, at least, let's see. Alright, at least we're keeping it at the minimum. Welcome to Masons. Down goes the ship with a 6. I guess the magnet fell out of that pin. Two and a half games in, and we finally got a mark, and it was a strike of all of them. So you know what that means? It's time for 2 El Stinko the bonus balls. What will they add up to? Again, when this place was hard, I actually did get a double strike here. Not counting on it, but I'm hoping for a decent fill, because this can really save the game. El Stinko 1 stinks for the 5 lead that it gave me. 4 horsemen and the 10. El Stinko 2 did what it can. Stink. But with what's left, that's an acceptable 2 for a Metza 7 fill. But for the score itself, the 7's still good. It is great. We need a full clean plate to hit middle of average. Middle finger for the 9. Well, the bad thing is, well, obviously playing on the first 4 lanes, which nobody likes because they're hard. The other bad thing is nothing out of the 80s, but the good thing is we haven't stunk yet, but we know that's coming, especially on these tough 4. Why does it work sometimes and not others? Eight. Then that. Then the first mark of the day, sadly, but at least it's a strike, so the strike streak is now at a whopping 2. An 8, first 2 balls knocking down 7, and then a 9, we're at 89. Can't wait for the Palace to open up if it ever does. If it does, it'll probably be fall or sometime in 2022. That's my guess. I have no idea. I ask, I get nothing. Game number 4, the only good thing so far is none of them stunk. None of them are impressive either, because look what you're tuning into. Game number 4. Well, it ain't the worst start, but it's a weak 7. Niner. Doesn't that look a bit familiar, minus the wood where it is? Except it took 4 games to only get a second mark. You know what that means? It's time for El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be this time? What else but stink? El Stinko lives up to its name for a 2. That's for the old timers. That like the old-fashioned way of announcing how the bonus ball sucked. Well, I found the microscopic hole in the middle, literally almost the width of the ball, a 5-inch gap. Candlepin ball is 4.5. Still Time for the halftime report. 7, 9, spare, 9. Unfortunately, the first ball only took out 2 pins, hence the fill. 10. We're tied for the best half at 47, but it was the second worst game overall. Meaning the other time I hit 47, which is still the high, that game is the second worst. And we got someone else. Hello, Michael. Afternoon, George. What is your high game at Mason's? We'll go through that again quickly. High single at putts, 148. Low here, 44. High here, 125. Answer the question, 125 from Mason's. And that's before they renovated. Well, it was going well. It was week 7. And once again, the ship is sinking. Good enough game. 80 or higher, still possible. If I can only figure out when I'm doing things right, how to keep it going. Still at least two frames to get 12 for minimal acceptance, which I think today pretty much is the day of minimal acceptance. Maybe there might be something better than that. The first 4 lanes, really hard to tell. I do know from 5 up to 19, the action's pretty good. It's still a hard place, but the action's a lot better. Welcome to Mason's. We got 8 out of there. We need 4 for minimal acceptance. Lousy 6 because watching my average sink faster than the Exxon Valdez. 7, then a 6 to not help, then an 8, then an 8, then a 6 to not help. Again, we're in the barely acceptable range of 82. It has not been the best of runs today. And it looks like we've... Okay, let's just shrink it slightly. Every little bit helps. Alrighty, so... Well, the only good thing so far is none of the games stunk, but none of the games are stellar either. Game number 5. Four games and I only got 2 lousy marks, and it took most of game 3 to get one. But it was a strike, so the strike streak is alive at a whopping 2. 2 sessions. So long as I get one in a session, I'm okay. Start with a halfway decent. And a lousy 6. Almost midway through 5 games, and that's only the 3rd mark of the day. Nonetheless, it's time for El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? So far, the strike was okay, and the spare wasn't. Let's see what this one is. El Stinko stinks big time for the leave, but the 7 feels pretty good. Curse of the fill, the lousy 7. I was aiming for the head pin because I suck so much. Halftime report. 5 years and what do I have to show for it? N-U-T-T-I-N. Nothing. Then again, I don't make the no bucks being good. 8, then a 6, then a spare, then a lousy 7, which was only from ball 1, and a lousy 6, 44. So we've tied the low single, which is what the little L stands for. The moment that it's tied or exceeded. Outside of the 9 pin the last time it happened, this is the 3rd time the exact same thing happened. Welcome to Masons. Another lousy 6 to ruin it. Bottom end of skill game is still possible. You better avoid another 6 because that's a slayer. Well, that avoids getting the Slayer, and that's 3 6 frames in a row. If I only could tune in to how I'm doing things right. Time for El Stinko the bonus ball, times 2. The last strike was a 7. So let's see what we get this time. El Stinko 1 and 2 both were mediocre at best. Again, for the score in general, 7 fill, not too bad. Strike fill, it's not considered very good. Curse of the fill with another 7. So far this half, the strike's literally the only good thing. In the other half, there were only 2 of 5 frames that were good. Let's at least get 3 hits. On the plus side, the scores happen when it matters, because 2 frames to get 6 for minimum acceptance. Like I say, when stuff like this happens where I lose track, so I remembered what to do this time. I took a house ball, put it between the two balls that are remaining so I don't lose track. Left wrong, but it worked. Yeah, for those of you wondering, the field trip happens when it's too close to call. El Stinko the bonus ball. What will it be? 6 will get us to middle of average. Actually, a guarantee is just a lousy refill. Hey, and guess what we got? Now, Stinko stunk with 3. So we got at least a 90 in this. Welcome to Masons. And we end with a week 7. I know I'm going to jinx it, but so far the only good thing is none of them suck so far. 6. And a strike. First 2 balls knocking down 7. That's what we live with. Spare. And a 7. So basically, the strike and the spare are literally the only 2 good things that happened in the second half. And here, the spare and the 8 were the only 2 good things. But it all happened in a way that we got 94. A 94 where only 4 frames of the entire game were any good. So in that one, things mattered when it really did matter. Hello, Watson. And I'm glad you saw that. And let's see if we can de-blur. There we go. Game number 5. So far, no stinkers, but nothing impressive. Although that 94 is pretty decent, considering who you're watching. And we are starting with the worst start of the day, a 5. It will not happen at Mason's, but there was a time where I got a 1 frame and still managed to get a 101. That was a perfectly pitched ball, but Mason's happened. Still not. For those of you who recently jumped on, can you tell that this is the art part of the building? Eight. Well, I think I jinxed this one, a 5. This is the worst game. Bad news, someone turned on the jukebox. Good news is there's enough bowling, it's not recognizable. Yeah, 8s aren't cut. Well, this may be the first failure of the day. Five, 9, then 8, then 5 and 8, 35. Funny, more decent frames, much lower score. Yeah, so it doesn't sound all that noticeable yet, so won't have to mute quite yet. How'd you find that little hole between pins twice? Well, because I'm not good at it. If I can lock in on what works, which I don't seem to do very well, I would change. And 3 times, although the second time 1 pin was missing, the first ball left the 4 horsemen left, and then the right triangle. And now this one's a tall order. See, if it were lanes 5 to 19, some more pins would have fell. Alrighty, 9's hell. Are not going to cut it. And that may have done it. No clean plates or marks. We're going to practice the City Invitational opener. Well, looks like we got the first crap game of the session. So I guess ball 3 will be the City Invitational opener shot. Well, since this game is officially junk, let's do that City Invitational shot, although I don't think it's going to work because it looks right. Well, it worked. Hey, at least we got that out of the whole garbage fest. Well, you know, we couldn't, especially here at Mason's, it takes a miracle to go through without stinking up at least one. Seriously? 9, 8, 8, 7, 10. If the top half didn't suck so much, we probably would have made it. Fail 1. And this is halftime, so we go and clean the balls. So I'll be right back because I thought I put my towel wet enough to clean the bowling balls, but apparently it dried out. So I'll be back in a minute. Down a little bit, but there's plenty of bowl in there to keep it recognizable less. Hey, that's a word now. Of course, if I wet them down too much, then they're going to go hard left. So, oops, you're frozen. Oh, it did freeze up. Well, it might not have froze up because I left to moisten the towel so I could clean the bowling balls. And this little stall is helping to, 1, determine if we have to mute the audio, and 2, let the balls dry a little bit. I think we're good though. I can't really recognize it. So let's get the second half going. Number 7. Second shot, so beautiful, then that happened. We got 10. Say it with me now. Welcome to Masons. That usually means the ship is sunk. Well, at least a 14 after 2. We had that 94. a short move kept Devonians for a moment. Niner. And then that happened. At least it's an 8. I might have to mute. Surprising how much action there is, and yet no noise. Boo! When it happens during King of the Palace, a chorus of boos happen to whoever got it. Week 7. Down the tubes we go. 10, 4, 9, 8, 7, 38. How is it I only had 2 good frames in number 5? And yet had a higher score, and only 2 good frames in the bottom half, and a 94 total. How is that? There's a Steve Brunchuck. How does that happen? Hello, Cooper 123. There must have been a power failure. The magnets didn't keep the pins down. Plan B for the spare. In other words, the possible choice I wasn't aiming for. It's now time for El Stanko the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? I'm hoping putting the microphone on that side helps to obscure the jukebox on that side. I mean, you'll hear the bass, that's pretty much it. Anyway, let's see what El Stanko gives us. That may have saved the game, or might even make it a good, really good one. Or a good one. All right, that's an acceptable 5. How Haven't been able to hear music. Well, that's a good thing. Do you have good audible range on whatever you're listening to? I mean, the bass note alone shouldn't really detect it. Finally, a mark that's not Curse of the Fill. 10. Three frames to get 17 for middle of average. That head to hit the other side of the head pin for it to spare. We'll take a 10. Not sure if that would have been I wish it was ball 2 moment with that other piece of wood. So the 10. Oh, we got 3 10s in a row, and on this channel, that's a microwave turkey dinner. Last frame, 7 for middle of the road, which on these first 4 lanes is an accomplishment. Ends with a week 7, which is all we need. All right, a third of them are average skill, according to ICBA records of casual league bowlers. Spare, 10, first ball knocking down 5. 2 more 10s for a microwave turkey dinner. And then just enough to hit 90 with a 7. You would think something would click right about now, or I actually would get good at this. I don't want to go bowling, but my mom says no, says Cooper. 4 lanes of bowling here, including myself. The base is becoming a little obvious, but it's just the base. Game number 8. 1 stinker. We start with the bowling pad's middle finger from I'm beginning to wonder if the magnets are getting knocked loose. To be honest, I didn't know what was going to happen with that one. It was just a hair to the right of where I wanted it. Then we got these 2 pieces of wood that are going to take forever. What I might do is go for the left one, and if I hit the moving wood, then it's a dead ball, and we have 8. Oh, it stopped. Maybe we'll go for that. This completely facilitated. Kingpin for the nine. King remains on his throne again for 9. I thought I saw it wobble. I did not see that one coming. I saw a possible 9, but I did not see the middle finger being broken. All right, I'm exchanging pencils, but so you know, to keep things safe, I had to get some hand sanitizer, put it all over the pencil so I don't potentially, not knowingly, COVID someone. I don't think I have. You never know. 9, 8, 9, 9, spare. So far we have a 45 with El Stinko, the bonus ball, to finalize the first. Well, El Stinko was okay with a 6 fill. That makes the half a no promises for 3 digits, 51. When 8 of its friends are there, half whisters are so much easier to get. Decent 8 fill. No, the fill was the 6, but a decent 8 frame. Barring disaster, we should make minimal, and that's with a disaster or 2 included. See, with 8 of its friends, it's very easy to do. There's no welcome to Mason's moment there. That's just getting screwed over. And that's a 5. There's one disaster. There's another disaster, a 5. Well, there's the 2 disasters we can afford. We need 11 in these last 2 for minimum. Nine, so minimal is possible. Yeah, what could have been wound up being, to no one's surprise, abysmal. But we just need 2. So far, the worst frame we had is a 3. You never know, though. And a lousy 6 because why get better? Lousy 33 points in this frame. 8. Then a pair of 5s because we can't be any good at this. Then a 9. And because I screwed up and did halfway decent there, only a 6. But we squeaked out a halfway decent 84. Yeah. That's one of the worst halves that I've had. Because, well, guess who? Anyway, yep, now I want to see comments. And do 1, I'm going to keep an eye on you. Maybe you're cheering or spamming. If you're cheering, good. Spamming, you'll be gone. Very low tolerance for that. But if it's for good, I'm okay. I only mention that because there's a lot of people, especially the professional candlepin bowlers, that hate this channel and hate me bowling and hate me putting this stuff on YouTube. But, as I always said, to be fair, there's also a lot of nice professional candlepin bowlers. So, let's continue. Game number 9. Bowling God's middle finger for now. Best start is a 10. Marks are very rare today. Wrong side of the head pin, but weren't we all hoping? I mean, they did do the renovations on all the lanes. It's just 1 through 4 are hardly used. So we don't get the benefit of the action. Plus 1 through 4 are known to be ridiculously hard here. Take 8. Ball bounces off the sidewall to get the 8th pin. You know what to say when we quarter Worcester. Welcome to Masons. Week 5 to ruin this one. The busted pin survives everything for now. It's just enough intact that it doesn't fall over. 9-8, 8, that, 9. It's a rebuildable 39. All right, let's see how the second half goes. Well, down the tubes we go. Crying out loud. It's going up the lip and back down the lip. That's all I didn't need, because that's just going to make me get cold. And it's got to stop. Sometimes if you watch King of the Palace and there's an edit, that's because it took forever for the pin to stop rolling. And it's finally there. That's a 7, so this game's junk. It's barely possible, but the way it's going, it's junk. Yeah, we need a mark. Tens minimum. it at 10. Game over. So I guess we'll do a city tournament opener shot. Stake frame 2. All right, I'd like to at least have half the games be good, but so far it's looking like it may be 7 good, 5 failures. Not a single good thing there except for the 10. 72, because the third ball, it didn't matter. We needed a 10. And there was no way to get from that. Not unless I was stupid lucky. Game number 10. Sometimes in the 10th and the last game, I clean the balls again, so that's what I did. They're coming back a little filthy, but not horrendously bad. Just giving it a few seconds to dry, because like I said, if they're not dry, they go hard left and they go back. Yeah, it didn't help too much. Still, only got no finger from that. All right, for this we have to be a bit daring. We got to try to hit that cap piece of wood on the right. So that means we're going to have to hit the piece of wood that's straddling the gutter to hit the other piece and hopefully knock everything out. And why get better? So. Middle finger again from them. Because we are not going to wipe get good again. Alright, that 10 helps a little. Another halftime report. 9, 7, 9, 6, 10, 41. How is it I get fewer good frames and get higher scores? It's still halfway decent. There we go. Probably would have been a 9 regardless because the wood's angled there. All right, barring disasters, which of course made sure they happened by saying that, this should be at least a minimal acceptance game. It is great. Well, asking for another good game is too much to ask, so this game's garbage already. Need 18. 2, need 18. Need 9 or bust. Spare. I guess that's more than that. Alright, it's time for El Stinko the bonus ball. This time 9 will get a smack dab middle of average. Otherwise, this is a bottom end of average game. Not a bad fill of it. Hello, Scott. 9, 8. That, because, well, you know who's playing. 9, spare, and a decent 8 fill for an 89. Scott, either that's sarcasm, which I find rather amusing, or your standards are set way too low. Alrighty. Game 11. 8 good games. Gets screwed over by the magnets holding the pins up inside. Mistake frame of 3, so I guess this game's garbage. This is the lowest one. It is great, but it's not going to help. by far the worst gate. Welcome to Masons, because why get better? Yeah, this is a game. Let's just see if we can hit 70. Might not be enough. Technically, a decent El Stinko will right the ship, barely. Nothing good here, except for that's, well, the 8, and the 8, and the spare. So far we're at 36, yay. But we have El Stinko, which will probably disappoint. Let's see if it's going to be a boon or a bane. Yeah, asking for it to be good is too much. El Stinko is a 2. That makes it a rebuildable 38. Versus the Phil Stink frame of 5, this game is still junk. No good. Need a mark at best. Looks like we're going to do another city tournament practice. Since this game completely sucked, because I suck, time for the city tournament practice ball. You know the ball I used to open the tournament with? And time to crash this plane into the ground. 5, 8, 8, 7, and 6, 72. Last game, time to crash the plane into the ground. I'm gonna clean the balls one more time. Alrighty, clean the balls one more time. Fingers have crap all over them too. Alright, let me see what we got here. Should do another, whatever. Wait a minute, let me see. Burton Mall. You mean Burlington? Yes, that's there, and I wrote everything that was there, and Sears is gone, so there's no point. Plus, COVID. Waiting for that crap to stop. There's only 2 elevators that were pretty much, well, 3 that were riding. We did the Christmas thing, and of course, you know, the birthday one. Last game, let's see if it's a crash and burn like they usually are. Which would make only, well, I shouldn't say only, for Masons, 8 good ones and 4 bad ones is the norm. So let's see if we can ram this plane into the ground. Start with 9. The previous to last failure started with 9. %% of lane, I suck too much to hit it. Oh, of course. Niner. If I delivered it, that would have been a foul. Middle finger for now. Well, if anything positive happens in the final game, there you go. All right, somebody here loves Bohemian Rhapsody because that's the second time in 15 minutes it's been playing. Well, 9-7, 9-9, strike. Hey, at least a 44 with 2 El Stinkos. Let's see if we can eke out a minimalist game. Thanks, Woodpile, that takes a really sucky ball from a sucky player and make it look good and give us an infield. Again, that gives us a not so promising 52 half. Not so promising is just because it's a 50 half doesn't mean we're getting 3 digits. Thanks again, Woodpile, for another freebie. Niner, middle finger rings. It looks like we got a field trip. This is a close one. Oh, actually, this isn't close. You'll see a line. Oh, it is. Oh, it's just barely over the line. By the way, no smoking. Look at that. It's just barely over the line. Good. I hate doing that when there's a pin nearby. That's first ball. Yes, we love our Bohemian Rhapsody. Too bad iHeartRadio last year butchered the crap out of it. Now I'm sick and tired of hearing it. All right, ball 2. That's a rare moment where a bad approach actually turned out okay with 10. Three more frames to go to get 9. Oh, that's more than 9. All right, the question is, how good is this game going to be? 2 frames to go. El Stinko, the bonus ball. Let's see what we get. Leaf is kind of crap, but 7 fill. You couldn't put a piece of paper between the ball and the pin on the second ball, and then garbage throw, but it ain't. Ooh, could this actually be slamming the plane into the ground of bad luck? Something good could happen. Let's find out. Something good did happen. Something that rarely happens here. Wood played. Alrighty. How good something good happened is going to look depends on El Stinko to end it. What crap. But it's only a bonus ball, so who cares? 6. You know what? Before I show you, let's do the let's do the recap. Game 1, 81, 280, 389, 482, 594, 6 where things go bad, 77. Then a 90 and 7, 84, 8, bad again. With a 72 and 9, 8, 89 and 10, 72 and 11. And there's a finger in the way. I wonder why. Why am I tipping it this way? As you see, a nasty looking finger because I work with sharp objects. It's a 112. That's how we ended. And I do want to point out that yes, even a 112 proves that I suck. Not because of the score, which obviously doesn't. It's the fact that I can get that and I can't replicate it. And I don't know why and I don't know how. So there we go. It ends with a 112. And that will be it. Just take a look one more time. Oh, Steven, yeah. And yes, Burlington was where security gave me a hard time and I managed to narrowly escape the second go. Anyway, yeah. I got ideas for gauntlets, but this whole pandemic crap's got to end, or at least get to a point that we can live a normal life to a degree. Anyway, that'll be it. And one of these days, the elevator thing will come back. It's just got to go too long a distance and too little time. Kind of like Jimster 586. He had a set amount of real estate he could cover, and well, that's all I got. So anyway, that'll be it for impromptu live bowling from Masons, with fortunately being far enough away from the jukebox that you could barely pick out a note or two. Being jukebox that way, microphone pointed that way. And that'll be it. This time I mean it. George F551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one. Nice ending. Didn't see it coming.